Action.
Action. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Thursday. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
These weeks just go by so fast.
Yes, they
Before
do.
we know it, it'll be Halloween. Well, what that is into today's demo. So today we are going to be doing pumpkins and potions.
Yay.
So we're going to be talking about pumpkins and potions. I did do the ladder quilt, but I also made it into a smaller quilt, which you could also convert to a pillow, and we'll talk about other things that you can make with it too.
Lots of things.
So Cindy and I both have machines going today, so we're going to have dueling machines, and we are going to hopefully give you some inspiration to get going on your pumpkins and potions. Let's see, we've got quite a bit going on in the next week or so. So we have Baby Lot Club next Wednesday. I do have the IQ project to show you, so when we go over to the machines, I will show that to you. But Baby Lot Club is next Wednesday. Also next Friday is my Serger Flatlock tote bag. I did see that Elaine has actually got her next Serger project ready. I'm sure she will show that tomorrow, but it's a really cute full table runner. Super cute. Have you seen the picture of it?
I have not.
It's she's got a picture up on the website. It's really pretty. A week from Saturday, we also have Floriani Club, and so that is the last Saturday in the month. I know we talked a little bit about the new product launch yesterday. So the new product launch is coming up on September the 10th for in-person here at the Thornton store. September the 11th for our virtual ladies and gents. And then Thursday, September the 12th for our Littleton customers. So that's kind of fun. We've all been busy sewing up new samples for you to see.
Yes, we have.
So we're excited to do that. Also, Matt and myself will be going to Baby Lot Convention on Saturday this week. So we're hoping to find some new products to bring back for you all from there. And then Quilty Little Christmas. Actually, we could probably look at Quilty Little Christmas right over here. So Quilty Little Christmas is the newest KimberBell CD that just delivered last week. Yeah. It delivered last week. This one, if anybody purchased the CD, the embellishment, and the fabric kit, you will automatically be enrolled, and we will email you the notification once we've done it. You will automatically be enrolled in the Zoom class that we are going to be hosting for this one. And the Zoom class for that is going to be on September 6th. Saturday, September 6th from 10 to 4. And I'm going to be teaching that, so that one will be Zoom. There is a $25 fee if you did not purchase your items from us. But if you purchase your items from us, we will waive that class fee for you. So you can either, you can't sign up online because it will automatically try to charge you. So if you purchase your stuff from us and you want to sign up, and we will do our best to get you registered, but in case you just want to get it over and done with, you can either give either of the stores a call and we will get that taken care of for you.
Wanda, if you're talking about the gingerbread event that's coming up in October, we don't get those kits until about 2 weeks ahead of time.
Yep. And that one's super cute.
And the Quilty Christmas is all online to purchase. Yes. It might not be up on today's projects or products, but if you just search for Quilty Christmas.
There's a little search icon in the top right corner. You can search up there. And
what date did you say?
Saturday, September the 6th.
It's a Friday.
In the computer, it's the 14th.
Can you grab me the paper calendar? I didn't think it was the 6th.
That's gingerbread. Gingerbread's October 6th, and it's a Saturday.
Please hold. because apparently I can't copy things down correctly.
The 14th.
It is the 14th. So don't believe me. Okay, it is Saturday, September 14th from 10 to 4.
Yes.
So please join me that day, not on the 6th. Okay, are you ready to get started?
Yes, I think
we
so.
got a giveaway.
Oh,
Go back
yep.
over here for the giveaway.
Before we forget.
So the giveaway is this really cute towel, and this is going to Terry Lind. And it
Cute.
says, keep calm and eat popcorn.
I love it. I love that.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
It's totally up to you, Patty. You can do online. You can write a comment and we'll get you a holler.
Do you want me to hold it whilst you get started?
Sure. Okay, so
Oh, Terry's watching. Oh, you are very welcome, Terry.
we have, so Kate and I kind of just picked a few of the designs that we wanted to do. Obviously we're not making the full ladder quilt.
We're not?
So we just picked a few and then we're going to see how we put them together and what it comes out as.
Perfect.
So I have chosen for live to do the Little Bit Batty block, okay? So when you do the whole ladder quilt, it will be in section 5, but this is the block I'm going to piece together today. So I do have my background quilting and my block. Everything is layered in the machine. Thread might be a good choice.
So here is what she's spreading up. Here is the complete quilt. So this is the ladder quilt. And it's got some really, really fun blocks on it. And I actually chose certain blocks and I put them into this combination, which happens to be, if you measure from this side to this side, it's actually 18 inches, which is the perfect size to make a Halloween pillow using the 18 by 18 pillow form from KimberBell. So don't just think of this as a ladder quilt. Think of it as all of the different options that you can do with it. So I personally did not make mine into a pillow. So you would need to do a folded back if you wanted to do that. But I did put the borders on. And so you could still put the borders on even with your pillow, and you could quilt into the border, and then you would have a flanged border on there.
Way too big of a piece. I'm like, why does my batting not fit? Well, it's because I chose a really big block.
Uh-oh.
Delete. So instead of pulling in the 6x6 quilting file, I pulled in the 8x8. So that's why I was like, that's a really big square. So I deleted the one I didn't want. I'm gonna come over here and add, find my folder, quilting, file 8, which is probably why I chose the 8-inch block. And I actually want the 6x6. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, and I'm not on the slar, so I can't rearrange them. So I'm going to have to,
Thank you.
oops, I'll just do this. Pop to the end here. Find my placement line for my batting. There we go. Okay, so we'll just do things a little out of order today. Okay.
So yes, if you're making them into placemats, Renee, you would want to be, you'd be wanting to be paying attention to which blocks you use and what type of embellishments you put on there. So some of the embellishments on them have these 3D bats, which I would imagine a kiddies would have a field day with these. And then there's also felt bats on some of the other ones. And then this one has like the beads and stuff on it, so you probably wouldn't want to do that one. So you would want to pick and choose which blocks you could use, and I think you could use different ones. All the placemats wouldn't have to be the same.
That would be cool.
So it put a tack down or a placement line for your batting, right? Mm-hmm. And now you're doing your tack down on your batting?
Yes. And then we'll do a placement line for fabric and a tack down line for our background fabric.
Perfect. And then once it's done the tack down for the batting, you will go in and trim that. Is that right?
For batting, yes. The background fabric, no.
Okay. And the reason we trim the batting away is so that the batting does not go into the seam allowance, correct?
Exactly.
Yes, thank you, Nancy. So FTCU did have an update. I think it came out about a week ago now. It's a update, which means it is free of charge. And I did write down, when we announced it a week or so ago, I did write down what it had. I know it has a lot more alphabets and monogramming in it, but I'm not sure of all of the other features on it. So here is the Serger tote bag that we are going to be doing. So the Serger tote bag is next Friday, not tomorrow, a week from tomorrow. And I believe it is at 10 a.m. And we do have fabric kits available for those if anyone is wanting to join me for that one. And then Cindy is just still trimming her batting. And then the other thing I wanted to show is the Life Happens Coffee Helps. So this is a mug rug that we will create in IQ for Baby Lock Club next week.
Sorry.
That's okay. And we do have fabric kits available for that. If anybody wants a fabric kit for the mug rug fabric kit is $5.50. And it does include the batting, the 2 fabrics for the front, and this really cute coffee fabric for the backing.
Okay, so again, we are just going to cover this up, but we're not going to trim after we tack it down.
Thank you, Tammy. Hi, Maureen. I haven't seen your name pop up for a while. The mug rug kit is for 1 mug rug, correct?
All right, now we're into quilting.
You're doing your background quilting.
Yes.
Okay, so can I talk about mine?
Of course.
Okay. So now I am going to be doing one of the pieced blocks in the hoop. So we're going to do the flying geese blocks, and we're also going to do the quilting. So when we do this, well, let's just go ahead and do it, because we actually have to kind of do the placement line, then do the piecing, and then go back to the quilting. Okay, so we have everything all ready to go right here.
Are you sewing?
Pardon? No.
Do you want me to hold while you adjust?
Thank you. Okay, can I have the USB stick, please? Okay, so what we're going to do is put the USB stick in the machine. We're going to go to embroidery, and we are going to go find our design, and we need the background quilting, and there's actually 2 different variations, so we really can use either variation. I'm actually going to do the cobweb one, which is design number 331. So I'm going to go to my USB stick. I'm going to go to Pumpkins and Potions. I'm going to go to my background quilting, and I want 331. I want the embroidery files. I want the PES format, and then I need the 4x6 design. So here's my 4x6 design. I'm going to select him. I'm going to say set, and then I'm going to go to add. And then I'm going to bring in my actual design, so my embroidery file. So again, I'm going to go back to my USB stick. I'm going to go back to Pumpkins and Potions. Whoops. Back to Pumpkins and Potions. This time I'm going to go to embroidery files. I still want my PES. And I am looking for my 5x7 flying geese. And it should come in directly on top, and everything should match all around the outer area.
Perfect.
Okay. Where are you at over there, Cindy?
I'm going to...
Uncle Jack is watching.
No, I saw that. Do a placement line now, which I guess I can still do in orange, for my white piece of fabric, which is going to be our center applique with our wording on it. Now, because my piece is white and my background fabric is a pretty dark color, I am going to use a product that's called Color Keep Topping. It is from Floriani, and it's just going to help with that bleed through, so that hopefully it'll kind of mute that orange a bit.
Okay.
So that I don't see it as much, or hopefully it shall stop it from coming through.
So Myrtle, the mug rug is actually going to be completed in our Baby Lock Club, which is done via Zoom. So yes, you could. However, the Baby Lock Club is not a monthly buy-in. It's an annual buy-in, and it's $125 for the whole year. So if you were to join halfway through the year, you would just receive the recordings for everything that has already been done. So the January through July, you would receive 7 different video recordings for those classes. But absolutely, you can join at any time. You just can't just pick and choose which month you want to join us. So do you trim here, or do you do the embroidery before you trim, Cindy?
I am going to guess we're going to do the embroidery. Nope, we're going to trim.
We're going to trim?
I would guess wrong.
Guess you shouldn't do any more guessing today.
That feels so backwards. They usually have you stitch first and then trim when it's like this.
Hi, Marge.
All right, so we will trim.
You're going to trim, and then it's going to do the lettering?
Nope, it's going to do our placement line for our glitter bat.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started over here. And, oh, can I take your cover off your phone?
Oh, yeah.
So bear with me a moment, I'm sorry. And then, look at that, that's perfect. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do on mine is we are going to start stitching. Now remember, we combined the background quilting and the piecing all into one. And I'm actually going to change my thread to a darker color so that you all can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to put on this almost black color, and then I think you'll see it a little bit better. So the first thing it's going to do is my placement for my batting. And Cindy was very efficient when she cut all of this out this morning, that she cut the batting to the exact size of the finished block, so I don't have any trimming. So when I lay my batting down, it will be the exact size, so I won't have to do the tack down and the trim because Cindy already took care of that. So I'm just going to skip over the tack down. And what we do, the next thing that comes up on the screen, let me show it to you, is actually to do the quilting. Well, obviously the quilting doesn't need to be done right now because the quilting needs to go on top of the pieced flying geese. So if we were to do the quilting right now, that would be irrelevant because it would get hidden by the fabric. So I'm going to use my advanced one. So this will give me, it's kind of like a roadmap on where all my pieces are going to be situated. Maureen, we are working on the KimberBell Pumpkins and Potions. I'll show it to you here in just a moment. So this is going to just give me an outline of where my fabrics are going to go. And I'm just watching my batting to make sure it behaves because I wasn't able to do that tack down. Okay, so this just kind of gives me almost like a map so I know where my fabric goes and where it's going to be stitched. And the Pumpkins and Potions is a ladder quilt, but what we're going to show you today is how you can take those components and make something different with it. So this is just adding on the extra 1/4 inch for my seam allowance on here. And fabric number 1 will be positioned right side up. So right side of fabric, this is going to be section number 1 right here. I'm going to put my right side of my fabric facing me. And I am going to make sure that this whole triangle is covered by fabric number 1. And I'm going to stitch my next stitch, which is actually going to be my trim line. So you can either remove the hoop from the machine. This is our first time that we have stitched on Pumpkins and Potions. Yes, Jen. I'm going to remove my hoop so that you all can see it a little bit better. But here's my stitch line right here. I'm just going to trim this right up to my stitch line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my background fabric, which is the bats, and I'm going to place it right side down. And my raw edge is going to line up with my trim line on my black, We're going to put it back into the machine, and we're going to stitch the next seam. When I do piecing in the hoop, I really do like to use the fold and stitch pen, and I also like to use the roller. Unfortunately, I don't have those here with me today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this fabric right side up, and then you could use a small iron. I'm just going to make sure that I've got a really nice good crease on this seam line, and then I'm going to stitch my next stitch, which is actually going to be my trim line for the other side of the triangle. I'm going to remove the hoop, and then I'm going to trim down this side. And I'm going to take a second piece of my background fabric. I'm going to place that one right side down and do my seam line. So when you do the piecing in the hoop, your first fabric will be right side up, and then all of your other fabrics will be right side down. And now I'm going to fold this one over. Make sure I've got a nice seam right there. And now I'm going to stitch my trim line that's going to go all the way across the top. And I'm going to cut all the way across the top here. And that gives me a flat area now to lay my next black fabric right side down, aligning this edge with my trimmed edge. And we're going to stitch all the way along. And once I flip this over, I'm going to pass the camera back over to Cindy so she can tell you what she's up to. I have not starched any of my fabrics. When I'm doing most of my other KimberBell stuff, I've normally got the fusible backing on the back of all of it. But when I'm doing the piecing in the hoop, I don't. And we are now going to just repeat that process. So you can see here where it's going to stitch, right side down, flip it over. So I'm going to continue doing this for a moment, and I'm going to pass you back to Cindy.
All right, you guys. So we have done a couple of things over here with this block. Firstly, once that center piece was tacked down, there is no decorative stitch just yet, but we did our placement stitch and then our tack down stitch of our glitter. For this step, you put on your black thread and put in a black bobbin. Because as soon as you're done with this, then you advance into the lettering and don't want potentially any white bobbin to come through. So having black on the bottom and the top just kind of ensures that the stitch quality looks good and everything. Okay. When you do your bat, again, you're going to do your placement line, and then when you tack it down, that's the only stitch you get. So again, you want to make sure that black is on there. And then it's kind of a trim as desired. You can leave a little bit around those tack down stitches, or if you want a contrasting color, that's cool too. It's however you want it to look. I typically tend to kind of trim up to those stitches. Okay, so then after the bat, we go into our stitching of our letters where it says only a little bit batty, which I think is super cute. Super, super cute. And these stitches for the lettering isn't like a full satin stitch either. It's kind of like an open, almost, you know, kind of like cobwebs, you know, kind of a deal. It's kind of what it reminds me of. It's kind of cool. Not everything on it is super full and satin and stuff like that. And then once our lettering is done, we'll do a couple of outer satin stitch borders for our applique piece. And then we are actually ready to trim. So we're almost done here. How's Kate doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting ready to do my last black triangle. Okay, I really like this sound.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I might have to be buying one of these. Okay, so now I'm on this last triangle, my last flying geese. Definitely dueling it today.
It's so fun that way.
It is. We get more done. And so we're putting our triangle over on the right side. Flipping this one over. We're going to sew the trim line for the left side. This is a great way to make flying geese. And we've got the last background triangle to stitch in place. And we're going to flip this last one over so the right side is facing. And then what it's going to do is it's going to do an outer tack down all the way around. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. Okay, so the machine thinks that we are finished, but we know we're not finished because we now need to put the quilting design on the top. So I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to use my arrows right here until the quilting design is in my preview window up here. And there's my quilting. So now I am ready to put my quilting on here, and of course you can choose whether I'm going to leave that almost black color on there, but you could choose whether you want white quilting, black, orange, whatever you would like. Okay, so whilst that's doing that quilting there, we're quickly go over and show you the project again. So this is the original project. This is how KimberBell designed this project as a ladder quilt. And this has been out about 6 weeks or 8 weeks now, probably. I think maybe June. It was June, July, yeah. So this is the how they recommend you put it together. And then we're going to show you how, on the ironing board. I'll take you over to the ironing board. This is the other variation that I came up with, which is the correct size if you wanted to use and make this into a pillow. From border to border, it is an 18-inch square, which will fit perfectly. Glow-in-the-dark thread would be a great idea for the quilting, Tammy. But this would be the perfect size if you wanted to make it into a pillow. Or you can just make it into a smaller wall hanging. And there's no right or wrong way. You just pick which blocks you like, and then you can move them all around. And sometimes you need to use like a filler block, like this one's got a little filler block right here, which KimberBell do that all the time, and then they have little quilting that goes on those filler blocks too. Okay, so I think mine finished. And so I'm going to go up to the cutting table with you all. But here's mine. You probably can see the quilting from the back side better. And we're going to go up to the cutting table. We'll take a peek at where Cindy's at, and then Cindy will come join us.
I have the rest of 1T and then 1T and a Y left.
Okay, and then you also have the satin stitching around, yes. Right? Okay.
I'll be here for a while.
And I agree. When you break this down, sometimes to break it down into a smaller project is less overwhelming. Okay. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to use the orange pop rulers with a rotating mat to trim the block down. So I'm going to take it out of the hoop. I'm going to try and put you directly in front here. Okay, so we want the orange pop ruler that is cut to 4.5 by 6.5, and we are going to position it right inside here. And that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so sometimes when you're using an orange pop ruler, you might want to use a larger orange pop ruler and position it to the outside. It gives you more area to hold on to when you are doing your cutting. No, I actually think that I'm just going to come to the side here. So I'm not watching the comments right at the second. So if anybody says a comment that I don't respond to, let me know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold on to both of these. It gives you more area to hold on to. And I am going to go forwards and backwards. And then I'm going to rotate my mat.
That rotating mat's like crucial.
for the orange pop rulers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Marge. I don't think Kate and I have done dueling machines before.
I did it with Paula one time, I think.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah. Actually, Paula and I have another project where we're going to be doing dueling machines, right? Yeah, so we actually have a project coming up here. I don't know when.
Next Thursday.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Right? Next week?
Okay. And then we have the finished block right here. Okay, so we show them some of the other blocks that we got done.
Yeah. So, we've got an itsy bitsy problem.
We do have a problem.
So we've done that block. Of course, the keep calm and carry a wand block.
Uh-huh.
That one has a Harry Potter feel. We've got our cute ghosty. I love the little detail.
I know. I love the
in
ghosty.
there. And we've done our little boo lettering. And then we've done a few different blocks to where they are basically just essentially a filler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so gonna have to position those to fill up some space.
And then we have this one that we just did.
Yes.
Okay. So I know that Cindy's block isn't quite ready.
But it's this size.
It's that size?
Yes.
Okay. So what we are going to do, first of all, I just saw the question about the cutting mat. So that cutting mat is a 12 by 12 cutting mat, the rotating one. We also do have the Sue Daily cutting mats, which are the round cutting mats. Can you take it further back there so they can see it, and then tilt it back? So we do have the round cutting mats by Sue Daily, and those come in a 16-inch diameter. And then they also have the smaller one, the 10-inch diameter. Now, what I will tell you with the smaller one is it's not going to probably be big enough for a lot of the KimberBell orange pop rulers.
Yeah.
So this one would be more suitable for if you're doing really smaller pieces.
Yeah.
Okay?
But they're both really nice.
Yes, they absolutely are. Okay, so we've shown you how you can put your blocks together to make more of a square quilt. If that is something that is more pleasing to you than the long, skinny ladder quilts. But what Cindy and I wanted to show you today was how you could put these together and create placemats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a matter of, it's like a puzzle. There's no right or wrong way. You can position these however you want. Do you have a layout in mind, Cindy?
Not really.
Okay.
So like these three are all the same size, so I don't know if I would want all of those next to each other.
And those three little ones together make the same size as one of the...
Yeah, I think they become this size as soon as those three are pieced.
Okay.
So that's now 4 blocks about the same size. So maybe we can split those up and do pairs.
So I will tell you, when I was creating my square one, my 18-inch square one, what I like to do was I like to start in the bottom corner. Because I'm at the 0, and it kind of gives me, I knew roughly what size I wanted it to be. So if we're looking at this, we could put, so right now that is at about 8.5, which means it's going to be about 8 inches. We could put this on there, and that's probably going to give us about a 13-inch in height, which would probably be about the right size for a placemat, don't you think? Or we could rotate it this way. And that also would be a good size on a placemat. So there's really no right or wrong way. When I was doing it, I was trying to avoid 2 light fabrics together. And honestly, what I started with and what I ended up with was 2 totally different variations. So let's bring these ones over here. And I don't know why, but for me, some reason, I don't know if I like the flying geese rotating this way. Maybe this one this way.
And then we have another one this size as well.
So if we have another one of this size, and it's going to go, so that would give us the right height, right? So that would give us the same height as this one?
Yeah, just about.
Oh, I dropped one. So, but this would be the same width as this one. Maybe put the lettering in the middle, do you think?
I like that.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
What type of height would that give us? That would give us about 12 inches.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think we would need another filler block. I need to change my thread.
Okay, she's going to go change her thread. And we are going to, let's see. And then if I did this, I would see that I've kind of got like a strip going across the bottom. Don't like a strip. I like something that has a little bit of a difference in height there. So we can manipulate that one right there. I'm really liking these two together right here. And then I would look at this and I would decide, okay, do I really like those two blacks together, or would I rather it be an orange?
Oh, then we have these two.
But then you have those two. Okay, but then what would happen if we shifted all of these and did it this way? So the idea for today was to really show you how you can pick and choose your blocks. Now, Cindy's got another block coming in right here. We might not even use this one, or we might
take this out.
We might take the filler. We might take the filler piece out. Ooh. And do that. You like that?
I like that.
Yeah, I do like the flying geese going horizontally for some reason.
I think that's super cute.
You think we got it? But, so what background do you have here?
It's orange.
Orange. That would be perfect.
Yeah, and a dark orange, so it's not going to, like, match that perfectly.
And you could sew up a ton of these, create some different filler blocks. So we created this filler block, which is the 4.5 by 6.5. Paula, would you grab my my 22-inch one, please? And it's just a matter of, honestly, I get too concerned about the placement, and you really don't need to. Like I said, the things that I look for are that I don't have two colors the same, the two fabrics the same next to each other, but you really can pick and choose however you want these to go. And like I said, this one is the perfect size for an 18-inch pillow form if you wanted to make it into one of the KimberBell pillows. Or you can just make it into a wall hanging. I did do the borders on this one, which if this was a pillow, you would then make this into a flange border. Okay. So I think with that, we are probably going to let you all go. We appreciate you joining us today. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Oh, hang on. Will you be stitching out more at another time? Jan, we probably won't be on the pumpkins and potions, just because I think a lot of people have already done it. Today was more just to give you some ideas on how you can use the designs for something more than just the ladder quilt. But we will be doing a Zoom on the Quilty Christmas. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.